Hi, this is Dominic. With the changing environment as we learn more about COVID-19, rules and regulations are constantly being shifted. So we will walk through how to easily adapt your safety workflows using Fieldwire. In this video, I'll review two different workflows you can easily build to help ensure safety on your job sites during the COVID-19 pandemic. The first workflow will be how to utilize the Custom Forms module to create COVID-19 specific safety forms on your project. The second workflow will be how to utilize tasks to plan, track, and report on issues happening on the site. Lastly, I'll show you how your field team can access and fill out these items from their phone or tablet on site. To start off, we will review how custom form creation and editing can help you stay compliant with safety regulations put in place by your governing authority or GC during the time of COVID-19. For those of you not familiar with Fieldwire forms, these allow you to build any type of form with different types of data inputs. To build these forms, you'll want to use a desktop and will need admin access on the project. From my desktop, I will start off by going into the Forms tab in my project. Create a new form by selecting the plus new form button and then plus new template at the dropdown. If you do not see the plus new template button, this means you do not have admin access on the project. You will be prompted to choose a template, default or dated. I'll select dated because I'll need to know what day the form is associated with. I'll title this form COVID-19 Safety Form. Now I have the option to add sections. I'll add two types of sections to collect safety information for this form. A list section allows you to add entry fields that your team needs to fill out or check off. I'll add the title to my section and a brief description to leave instructions for filling out this information. I then can select plus new line to select the data entry type. I'll have many different types of entry options. For this form, I'll create a line for my foreman to enter the crew's area of work, another line for checkboxes to ensure that the crew is wearing proper PPE, and a line to enter our crew members designated for cleaning surfaces and making sure people are working 6 feet apart. The next section I'll add is a table section. A table section has defined columns for data entry, and you will add a row for each member of your crew. For this table, I will have a column for the crew member's name, where they are working, are they PPE compliant, and their temperature at the beginning of the day. When I am done creating the form, I will hit the Publish button, and now it will be ready for the project to use. Here is a submitted example of the form we just created. As you can see, it has all the information filled out and the entire crew added. Before we move on to using tasks for safety, I'll create and assign a form to my user in the field. Once I assign this form, they will receive a notification on their device, phone, or tablet. To get an even deeper dive into forms and a detailed look into creating a form on Fieldwire, please see the linked video, Fieldwire Custom Forms. Next, we are going to walk you through how to set up safety tasks for your team in the field to complete, and show you how easily tracking all this information is. This can be done on any device and with any level of permissions. I'll be using my desktop to set these tasks up. First, I'll set up a daily task for COVID-19 safety measures. I can title it with today's date and COVID-19 safety walk. I'll assign this to my user in the field and designate the category as COVID-19 so I can centralize and make it easy to track all my COVID-19 related tasks. Once I assign this task to the user, they will receive a notification on their device that they are the assignee. Next, I'll add my COVID-19 related checklist. This checklist lets the assignee know the items they should be performing and monitoring throughout the day. They will have the option to mark each item on the checklist as checked off, deficient, or not applicable. I can even attach the COVID-19 form we just created so they can quickly access it from their daily task. Now everything they need to do COVID-19 related safety is centralized in this one task. The last thing I will do is put a comment in there to put extra focus on monitoring a specific area for the day since we have two crews working next to each other. And I'll add my COVID-19 related toolbox talk file to the task for them to reference. Forms and tasks are a great way to get the crew set up for the day. But I also wanted to show a way to share a message to the entire project using a project-wide notification. This is a great tool to remind everyone on the project to do their inspections, fill out their forms by the end of the day, or make an announcement who will or will not be on site that day. While in the project on the web dashboard, go to the upper left-hand corner and select the bell icon. The pop-up window shows me notifications of updated tasks and forms. If you are an admin or member, you will see the option to select the Send Project-Wide Notification. You can choose what access levels on the project will receive this message. There is a subject line and message component. Since we found out tomorrow we are not going to be working, I'll let the project know that in my subject, and my message will be to spend the last hour tidying up the project. Once you select and send, all people on the project with selected access levels will receive this notification as an in-app notification and as an email. Now that you have set up your team in the field for the day, they can easily access the information and complete their safety checks directly on their smartphones or tablets. I can see here on my user in the field's iPad that they have received my notification sent to the project team, the assigned task, and the assigned form. They can click on the app notification on their screen and they will be taken directly to the task. In the task, they will be able to see all the information that I added for them on my computer. They have the COVID safety checklist items and the attached form I assigned to them earlier. They will also see the toolbox talk file I attached and can click into it and view what they need to review with the crew for the day. They can click into the form and fill it out at their stretch and flex before they start their day. They'll fill out the required data, add crew members, check the boxes, and add the temperature for each member. When finished, they will mark it as submitted. Back in the task, as they go through their safety checklist throughout the day, they can check off the boxes and add observations or photos in the task message to show safe practices or potential risks. Once they have finished their observations for the day, they can mark the task as complete. This will kick off a notification back to me or any other watcher for the task. In fact, why don't we jump back into the desktop view and see what that's like. Back on my Fieldwire dashboard on my desktop, I'll see that my user in the field completed their form, went through their checklist, took some photos, and made some observations. Because they've marked the task as complete, and I did my check on all the information, I will mark it as verified. Note, only admins on projects will be able to mark tasks as verified. I'll go back to my task dashboard. By clicking into the COVID-19 category on the left-hand side and looking at which tasks are still open, I can see if my other crews have completed their COVID-19 related tasks for the day. With Fieldwire's forms and tasks, we can ensure that our teams in the field have access to the most up-to-date safety information, can document and track COVID-19 related safety items, and show that they are staying compliant with the requirements put in place. Thanks for following along in this video. Hopefully, with these tools, safety forms, COVID tasks and checklists, and project notifications, your team can work safely in the field, and together we can get through this pandemic.